Let's see. Have you thought about playing Frostpunk again? Since there's a DLC for it. I will admit, I mean, I'd like to, but that game's kind of stressful. Because I prefer these more peaceful town builders where I don't have to worry about, like, this constant feeling of, like, your people are going to die. You know, I don't mind challenging situations where I have to, like, think or plan ahead or something like that. But Frostpunk very much is one of those that's like, well, the temperatures have gone to the point where, like, no human being should ever be outside, but everyone's gonna die if they don't go outside, so frostbite for everybody. And I'm just like, because that kind of kills my enthusiasm a little bit. It's like, I love it, I enjoy it, but it also makes me feel like too much of a monster to some degree. Let's see, did I play normal or easy? Pretty sure I just played it on normal. Could be wrong. What I could do is potentially get, like, one more here if I needed to. We'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna get one more salvage boat and one more fishing boat. And that should be enough, at least for these guys. And then hopefully we'll be able to stay on top of our resources, at least for a little bit. But yeah, we barely have any metal scrap, and I don't know if we have any. I'm gonna pause for a second and look around. Because yeah, that's wood. That's wood. I can't get to that even if I wanted to. I think this is kind of just an intermediate zone with not a whole lot in it. Yeah, that's all plastic. Might not be a bad idea to restock on a little bit of plastic while we're here. But we've got this plastic field. And another stressful game. This War of Mine. That game is stressing as heck. Made by the same people as Frostpunk. See, what I would want is Frostpunk, but with like a really extensive tech tree. Like an insane tech tree. Where you start, you have this crazy tower, and everybody's living in a shanty town. And then you start building underground. You start building automatons that can handle the cold, weird, like, heat-trapping exosuits, you know, weird automated coal mines, efficiency upgrades, a big glass dome that covers the whole thing. You take all the Tesla tech, and you use that to, like, really upgrade your stuff, so suddenly you've got electricity now, so you're not just purely running on, like, fire. Because, like, they had the automatons. It seemed like it was kind of a no-brainer to include something to this extent. Because it would be so much more interesting for me in a game like that to have this big, expansive tech tree to just play around with. So, going from surviving to thriving. Yeah. The only survival game I can even think of that comes close to doing this is Surviving Mars. Where you start with just, like, some Peaslee drones and, like, basic shit. And by the end of it, you've got, like, robot people and insane power generators and just, like, wild sci-fi nonsense that, like, you know, obviously is kind of beyond the realm of reason. But I just find that compelling. Makes me think of Oxygen Not Included. Except for Oxygen Not Included doesn't go far enough. Like, that was kind of my grump with it, is, like, I want some kind of machine that just literally you pipe heat in and the heat is just gone. There's no, like, pumping heat around, tricking the physics engine into thinking you're cooling things down, using weird design decisions to just effectively get rid of heat, even though it should still be there, question mark. You know, because it would be more compelling that way, at least for me. I don't know. I want to get rid of this mooring point and move it over here. I'm going to do that. We're going to make one more rope, I think, and we'll go from there. I'm actually running out of plastic. I'm getting wood en masse, which is good. Actually, they're clearing this place out pretty quick. We've got a lot of wood just hanging out, though. When we run out of fish balls, that's probably going to be where we want to leave, though, because wood is a limitation, but fish is going to be what kills me. You're looking for the anti-entropy thermonullifier in O&I. Was that a thing or was that a modded thing? Because I didn't see it on the tech tree. If it was on the tech tree, I would have gone for that. See, wonder would you ever play Spore? You should look up a little series I did called Hardcore Spore. You might enjoy it. You might not. I liked Spore, but it was not... It was disappointing. Oh, it's a thing that spawned during World Gen. That's hard to work with. I'm sure it's great, but, like, I'd want to be able to actually, like, make those myself. Heck, I'd want to make, like, robot duplicants or something, or... Oh, what do I don't even know. Loads of different things. Okay, so I'm gonna put one more of these down. Because I'd like to move this mooring point just here and just use this as the docks. And then maybe opposite side too. Because if I use this whole area as just super storage yard, that would work. Spore was disappointing and looked like an unfinished game. Spore had so much potential, and I am honestly floored. You know, that would actually... Here, I'm gonna make a note of this. My screen's just gonna go elsewhere, but that's okay. Not that one. I'm making a to-do list of non-Let's Play videos that I want to do. Okay, there we go. Yeah, unused, not unused, underused. Underused game concepts that should be revisited. I'd really like to, make... I don't want to be one of those channels that only does, like, highly edited, like, kind of review-ish kind of stuff, but I would really like to sit down at some point and do more content that's just like, yeah, let's talk about this esoteric, or not so esoteric topic about a game, that should be revisited or redone somehow. Because that'd be kind of cool. Spore is definitely one of those games that, like, if a studio could go back and make what Spore aspired to be, at least the first couple stages, I think you'd have a fantastic game on your hands. Like, truly, I think what it should be is break it up into 2 games, give or take. A creature simulator where you start as an amoeba and you go all the way up to forming a tribe. And then... So, it starts more or less as what Spore was and ends with that Ancestors, the Humankind, whatever thing. I don't remember. I didn't play that game because it looked like it had issues. Not issues so much as just like... I just wasn't super passionate. I just don't care about monkeys. I guess that's my thing. If they had been weird alien creatures, I would have been all about Ancestors. But it was just monkeys. I don't know. I need an element of fantasy to really get into a game. I think that's part of the reason why I'm so positive about this and O&I, even though I'm a little critical of O&I. Because there's something that isn't just, like, realistic to kind of keep me going. Because otherwise I'm just like, meh. Okay, so how are we doing on buoys? We've got one fish one left. We do have a lot of raw nibble fish just lying around, so I guess it's not so bad. Let's see. Speaking of other things, there's more DLC for Cultist Simulator.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the main dev right now. He's kind of a jerk. Like, it sucks, because he's kind of a champion of, like, egalitarianism, but also kind of a two-faced liar, so it's like, I don't know. That's probably not something I should talk about too much. But he was the old CEO for the Sunless Sea people, and there was like a bunch of people talking about like
him screaming at people when he was still the boss, and it's just like, ooh, ow, I don't want that. But can we move away from talking about other old games and Wander Have You Played? Because unfortunately that's one of those topics that once I get on it, I'm stuck on it forever. And it's very, very hard for me to get away from. Let's see. Okay, so I will be able to make a solar sill. Yeah, so I'm going to want to make a silly amount of those. Did we not finish deconstructing that? Supposedly... Oh. I guess they're just busy doing other things. Okay. Let's see. So you've been playing this a while now. Over thoughts about gameplay and design, etc. It's a bit simple. The main gameplay seems to be mostly just trying to balance, like, how many people do you have versus, like, how much water you're currently producing, and trying very hard not to get your people killed. Ooh, we're actually running out of storage here. Which I do actually really appreciate, but I do wish there was slightly less management of food on the upfront. Like, it's a little weird that you have to research how to cook fish. Whereas, like, they've got a big bowl here filled with burning boxes, I think? That's desalinating the water. I feel like you should be able to make some of those basic things. And it should be less of a, you need to research this stuff and you just need to have the available supplies? Question mark? Let's see. Other than that, it's positive. It's one of those games that I hope... One, I hope they get rid of the like, micro pause when it autosaves, because that's got to be what it is. Research. Research new construction. How do I get more research, though? You need research points, which you can find on landmarks that have the scavenge option. Yeah, so I have to move to actually get that stuff back. I mean, it's not so bad, but still, let's see. We might also want a second drying rack here. For fish. I don't think we need it for wood, but I think we do need another fish drying rack. Just because currently it's a little bit, it's a little bit stringent. Wish games didn't make everyone but the player morons who can't innovate themselves. It would be nice, yeah. Actually, you know what would be really cool? Is if there was no research system at all in this game. And this could actually be bad, or maybe there is a research system, but it's kind of slow and it kind of sucks. But every character you recruit potentially has different bits of knowledge, for example. So, you know, we just picked up Guppy and Salty. Well, maybe Salty, given his name, would actually know specifically how to preserve fish better. And comes with a permanent bonus on all preserved fish from now on, improving the nutritional benefit of a dried fish by 25%. And, you know, maybe it increases the water intake by a little bit, but the nutritional value wildly outpaces that, so you're kind of incentivized to get more people because they actually know things. They actually have, like, useful information that, you know, goes beyond just the research system. I think that would be fascinating. That way all the characters are worth more than just their kind of individual perks. Because I could really get behind that. Okay, so we've still got a decent amount of fish. Water seems like it's going to be an issue. How many of these buoys do we still have? We still get a fair bit. Plastics at 44. Everything else is kind of far away, and they're busy. Oh, and we're full up on resources. Oh, and we're done with fish. Okay. So I'm just gonna remove these markers. The extra wood would be nice. But we're just gonna get this last one. There's only 20 left, so that'll be two trips, and then we're gonna get out of here. Because we've run out of fish. Okay. Let's see. So while we're here, I'm gonna need another one of those. Yeah, time to go. Just about. But yeah, I should probably get out of here. I can get this last storage yard done. And this last bit of wood. I think it'll be okay. I could stick around for longer, but I don't think it's a good idea. Let's see. So while we're here, so we have no research points. Let's check the map. What do we have? So this has freshwater, oil, and an abandoned town. This has animals. This has villagers. I'm not super keen on villagers because they're expensive. I'm curious about how animals work. Lonely seagulls need friends too. I'm probably going to go that way just because the idea of having a seagull buddy is kind of cute. I don't know. Also, thank you, Elzash, for the sub, and welcome back. I haven't tuned into a water stream in ages. Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoy your time and have a very chill evening. I'm going to have a chill evening, and then Shell and I are going to get frustrated at games, probably. Okay, think we're good. These guys can keep working. We're going here. Fresh water will be helpful. Yeah, Borderlands 3, maybe? Yep, Borderlands 3 and Code Vein. Because Shell seems at least mildly amenable to that, which is kind of rad. And I'd like to get her at least halfway interested in the Souls-like series. There's a whole bunch of fresh water just hanging out there. Okay, other things I want to grab. Probably the wood, just because. We're gonna need more plastic, but we don't have any more people for a while, which is good. Fish ball. Okay, do we have any other fish balls in the area? Because that's my one persistent fear here, is we're gonna have issues with leash. Pause for a second. Do we only have 2 available fish balls? I guess once we get those fishing huts, it won't be so bad. Okay, so we probably want the solar sills first. What does it require for this? Yeah, because this requires nets and a lot of metal scrap. That I can't make easily. Solar sills, on the other hand, are relatively easy to create. Yeah, desalinator might not be a bad idea, but we'll leave that for a later situation. And yeah, we're going to want to restock up on plastic, at least a little bit. I'm just going to do that. Whoa! I underestimated how comically massive these things are. I see that seems to be the kind of limiting factor here on making more of them. Well, I can't really cancel stuff, so I guess we just got to get more plastic. Let's see, isn't everything comically massive? I mean, yeah, technically the distiller looks hilarious. Let's see, but yeah. Would like to have a couple of these. Even if they're kind of expensive. I didn't realize that. Oh. Okay, so they're getting the fresh water. We've already salvaged that one out. And we've already salvaged that one out. Let's see, we haven't found a whole lot of metal. Which is worrying me a little bit, because I don't really know where to get metal scrap from. I mean, it doesn't worry me that much, because I'm assuming we get metal scrap from, like, towns.
Just haven't found any towns to actually get metal scrap from in mass. And we're not going to find that stuff just floating around, really. And no, I don't actually need help with this kind of thing. I know people could absolutely tell me how to do this better, but learning is truly one of the more interesting things about gaming for me. And so I actually don't like people telling me how to play a game unless I actually have a question. So if I say, like, you know, I'm kind of worried about this, or like, how do I do this, but not like asking directly, like, okay, so seriously, how do I do this? You know, if I'm just like, I wonder how I get metal scrap. I don't actually mean, like, tell me how to get metal scrap. I'm just kind of being like, I wonder how and when I'm going to get metal scrap along the way. This ain't Raft. You can't just find some scrap and barrels floating by. I wish you could find, like, a smidge, but I understand why you can't. But yeah, so we're pretty much gonna bail again as soon as we run out of fish, because that's problems. Okay, so we're gonna need some plastic. Our storage is actually pretty full. I need diving bells for seafloor scrapping. I wish that was a thing. How cool would that be? If, like, the second part of this game is actually, like... I guess on the topic of games that should have, like, insane tech trees to some degree, I think this one actually would benefit greatly by having, like, goofy tech trees. So after a certain point, you start, like, stabilizing your buildings. You know, you're not just using sheet plastic and scrap, but you actually make, like, a somewhat functional boat civilization. I realize, I guess, that goes against the concept of Flotsam. But still, like, the second, like, you hit the end of the tech tree, and suddenly it unlocks the ocean layer. And so you're sending divers down to grab stuff from there. And then people with diving suits, and then eventually, like, mini submarines and stuff. And then they later sell a DLC where everybody's just like an ocean witch and can straight up, like, conjure fish en masse, and it's just goofy. I would pay DLC for a lot of these games to just suddenly have, like, a goofy magic system just tacked on. I don't know. More games need cool magic systems. Damn it, go get that plastic. They really want to get this wood. I guess it's because it's a shorter trip, but still. This game could do silly stuff like that. I doubt they would, but I would pay money. That whale almost ate my boat. That'd be bad. Why is this? It was confusing. It was like giving me an alert symbol. Unless it keeps generating water here. Okay, so the fish is still coming in. We have already burnt through one of the two fish things. But then again, wood has actually not been as big of an issue as I thought it would be. Let's see. Okay, so let's hopefully get the plastic next. I might, no. I'm just gonna let it so all three boats can pull from that buoy marker. That's something I should probably do more often. Yeah, we have enough homes for everybody, right? I think we do. Yeah, I see 5 beds. So that's good. Can you store even more plastic? No. Actually, we're kind of in a bad situation where I need plastic to store plastic, and I can't store anything. Because I'm full up. Oh. That's what's getting me here. I didn't think about this, but the reason why these boats aren't going out is because we actually don't have any space to put anything. What do I do? Can I deconstruct a walkway? No. I'm gonna deconstruct this. I need that 8 plastic back. Alternatively, I need to find some use for wood. Because that's only gonna get me 2. I guess the real answer is just... let's see. I'm going to raise the firewood cap to 50. That should help. Let's see. Can I micromanage storage? I can. I haven't yet, but I should. I'm gonna start doing that. Once this immediate issue is over. I guess I might as well cancel that. I don't know if I can. Well, at least everything is, like, perfect. You have perfect reclamation, so it's not so bad. Yeah, Wanderbot has backfired. Just a little bit. It's not too bad. Because at this point we're starting to kind of hit an equilibrium here. We just need to start pulling from the plastic boats. I was wondering why people weren't going out for resources, and the answer is because I'm a dum-dum and I did the wrong thing. Can't build a workshop. Everything just requires a lot more plastic. I made a goof. I mean, I could put down another mooring point. It would clear up some space. The problem is it would use up most of my plastic. I'm just hoping, for the most part, the firewood situation and the water, like, we can go down a little bit. Can you not dump resources? Unsure, and I'm not entirely sure if I want to, because that could mess me up. See if I've got any other fish balls just kind of sitting around. I mean, otherwise we could actually just leave the area. That's an interesting question, actually. You know what? I'm going to save before we do. We're going to save it as broke help again, because broke help is gone. Like, we're not continuing that one. But yeah, the only issue is just plastic. But you know what? There's more plastic than I know what to do with on most of these maps. So, I'm going to go this way. What else do we have? Abandoned town. More fresh water. Or villagers in an abandoned town. Well, we're going to go up here. I don't want to plan things out. There's also oil. Okay, so it does look like we've got a factory there. We'll get enough oil. I don't think I'm doomed. Okay. So now that we've done that, we are here. Here has Stavon, the seagull. Lonely seagulls need friends too. I don't entirely know how that's gonna function, and it looks like this is all just plastic waste, which is good because that's what we need. We got anything else around here? Metal and what looks to be raw seaweed.
I'm kind of surprised you can't farm that stuff, honestly. Okay. Oh, what about fish? Fish ball. Damn it. Because fish balls are my biggest limitation here. If I don't have fish, I'm sunk. How about this one? Okay, that one's good. Any other immediate fish balls that I haven't fished? Yeah, here we go. They're a little hard to spot sometimes. This area has a whole bunch of fish. So that's good. Because, yeah, we've got a silly amount of wood. We're not burning through it too fast. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna cancel that one. And this one for a bit. I'd like both, but we're gonna need more storage. See, I guess while we're waiting for that, I think this pauses the game, but I want to look. So, I can go down, head for an abandoned town. Fresh water, and another abandoned town. My one fear is if we go down here and go up here, we burn all of our fuel and then we have none. Maybe the abandoned town would have fuel. You know, I'm just going to bet on it. Probably having fuel for us. Yeah, you could go straight. Be slightly afraid of, like, an impediment. But, who knows? Who cares?